Ugh. Hi everyone. Welcome to another episode of My Favorite Things, where we discuss things that I love, and hopefully you love them too. Today we're going to talk about The Mary Tyler Moore Show. The Mary Tyler Moore Show stars, of course, Mary Tyler Moore, playing Mary Richards, who finds herself living on her own all of a sudden. She's broken up with a fiance. I guess she was engaged for 2 years, and she kind of had enough of waiting to get married.
You just couldn't wait, could you?
Couldn't wait for what?
To bring up marriage.
Well, I waited 2 years, Bill. That's not exactly couldn't wait. You know, that's waiting. That's really waiting.
So she moved out of her home into a new home, all on her own. A new life, pretty much. New city, new home, new job. She had to find a new job.
Tell you what, I'll try you out for a couple of weeks, see if it works out. If I don't like you, I'll fire you.
Right.
You don't like me? I'll fire you.
That certainly seems fair.
And that's gotta be tough. Life can change so fast. And one thing I love about Mary is her spirit. I myself have extreme anxiety. I need a routine. And when something messes with that routine, it's the end of the world for me. What I love about Mary is that, yeah, her routine definitely changes, but she's still smiling, and she's still her. She's still herself. It looks like she's always been a happy, perky, positive person, and she doesn't let the hard knocks of life bring her down.
Well, then you're in for a little surprise. Because if you push me, then I just might have to push back. Hard. Come on, you can't carry that off. I know.
She makes friends with Rhoda. They have a very bumpy start, but they eventually become like best friends. Rhoda's humor comes from the fact that she makes fun of herself. And it really kills Mary, because Mary really sees her friend Rhoda as a pretty awesome person, and all Rhoda can do is, put herself down.
Look, I may not say terrific things about myself, but Rhoda, I don't say that I'm nothing.
Sure, but you don't have to worry about someone beating you to it.
I see the good in all my friends. I see the beauty in all my friends. My friends bring me happiness. My friends uplift me. So it's gotta be damaging to see like one of your best friends always making fun of herself.
All right, I want you to just look in the mirror. Forget your Rhoda, who does a lot of put-downs about herself, and just look at yourself like a stranger.
Hi, new in town?
Will you cut it out?
Mary wants Rhoda to see how she sees her. She sees her as gorgeous, as sharp, as smart.
Mary? You know something? It's gonna sound silly, but I had no idea the whole look was, so right. The figure, the hair. Oh, that's you.
Always.
I'd like to think that because of their friendship, Rhoda does eventually see herself as the amazing person that Mary sees her as. I guess evidence of her character growth could be seen within the character of Georgette.
Oh, nice, Georgette. Hi, Mary. Nice to see you.
Excuse me, Georgette, I gotta go clean off my hand.
Does she do that every time she shakes hands?
Georgette is one of my favorite characters. She is so cute, so adorable, and smarter than people give her credit for. Georgette works with Rhoda, and she ends up dating Ted, who works with Mary.
Hello, Ted.
Told you I don't like to smooch in public.
I'm sorry, but can you go now?
Oh, sure, only I'm a little tired tonight. So I'm gonna go right home and log a little sack time. I'll call you tomorrow, maybe.
Mary and Rhoda both see that Ted is kinda not treating Georgette in the best light. Like, he's giving her a lot of domestic chores.
Who's that one for?
Well, this is Ted's laundry.
You do Ted's laundry, huh?
Yeah, she likes the way I fluff and fold.
I think it's okay to want to do your boyfriend's laundry, but it should be your choice. And I think Rhoda and Mary felt like Georgette was being taken for granted. They go have a talk with Georgette and they try to empower her.
Say something positive about yourself.
Well, I have good handwriting. And I like animals. And I think I understand why you're trying to help me.
You do? Great. Okay, now come on. Tell us something really positive about you.
I'm good with my hands. And I'm a pretty fair country cook. And I'd like to think I'm a nice person.
Just nice?
Very nice. Damn nice.
And Georgette, she eventually talks to Ted. Whether it's a boyfriend or a friend, if they're doing something you don't like, you need to tell them. How else are they gonna know? It gives them an opportunity to change. Georgette, with newfound strength due to Mary and Rhoda, tells Ted how she feels about how he's been treating her. And they break up for a second.
So long, baby. Thanks for the memory. I don't want to go. I said I wanted to go, but I don't really want to go. I lied.
They reconcile, let's put it that way. I do believe Ted loves her. I think he just needed to be aware of how he was treating her.
It's so wonderful.
Another episode of The Mary Tyler Moore Show that I feel gave me a lot of strength was when her coworker Murray, he's a writer, and he reads that one of his friends has won a Pulitzer Prize.
Isn't every day a local reporter wins the Pulitzer Prize, huh?
Yeah, tonight we toast one of our own.
It triggers a sort of depression in him where he feels like a failure.
Mary, did you ever feel like just going out all by yourself and getting bombed out of your mind?
Murray, what is it? You want to talk about it?
Lotto, you know, that's all.
Murray.
Smashed, snookered,
Hey, Mur.
pickled, plastered, looped,
Mur.
whacked out, you know,
Hey.
really boozed up.
And here's the thing I think about feelings. So he feels like a failure, but I don't think he's a failure.
Doggone it, Murray, you got a good life.
Yeah.
You got a wonderful family.
Yeah?
You got good friends who really care about you.
Yeah.
Okay, so what difference does it make if some guy you went to college with wins the Pulitzer Prize?
Hmm.
I went one too far, didn't I?
I don't think that's failing. I think that's being successful.
Ted, I'd like you to start being nice to Murray.
Why, is he being promoted or something?
Mary gives him some pretty good advice.
That we've been all wrong about this whole thing. I mean, why are we trying to cheer you up? If you feel sad, you should be. I was a little sad myself today.
So was I.
And I know the last thing in the world I wanted was somebody trying to cheer me up. You should feel what you feel. If you're sad, be sad.
If you feel sad, feel sad. Sometimes I'm not 100% happy. It's hard, you know, especially if it's something that you can't control. You cannot control your emotions, but you can't control your actions. So when I feel sad, I do one of two things. Okay, one of three things. I keep to myself and I have complete quiet. Yeah, I get alone with those voices in my head. I talk back to my insecurities and I say I am not a failure. And okay, I do that, or I sing Without singing, I wouldn't have made it through high school. I would not have made it through college. I wouldn't have made it at all. So those of you who actually do listen to my songs, I thank you. Or I write. Writing really helps me get out those words. So that's the three things I do. I retreat, or I sing, or I write.
Who is it? It's me, dear. Sue-Ann, open the door. Gee, Sue-Ann, I'm not really sure how to work this lock. Anyway, there's somebody at my door.
There's nothing to it, dear. Just simply press your latch button and rotate your bolt. See? Presto! Now we can communicate at will.
You mean you're
In the next room. Isn't that a piece of luck?
Wow.
Betty White as Sue-Ann Nivens. She is the happy homemaker, and she's also very sexually active and is very vocal about it.
A woman is giving birth to a baby in Mary's bedroom.
I know, and it's probably the most exciting thing that'll ever happen in me.
Sue-Ann Nivens works for the same TV station that Mary works for, and they end up being roomies for a convention. And Sue-Ann sets them both up on a double date.
So, what convention are you fellas with?
Well, now, take a guess. What do we look like?
Oh, I don't want to guess. I hate that.
Oh, come on.
No, I hate guessing. I always guess wrong.
Go on, you'll die.
No, I won't.
You'd better. We're morticians.
And on this double date, both guys like Mary.
Doesn't it ever bother you that you were the obvious favorite of a group of men who spend all their time with dead people?
And Sue-Ann talks to Mary about how it feels to be rejected.
Sue-Ann, everyone's been rejected.
Everyone but you.
That's not true.
Tell me one instance.
There have been plenty of cases.
Tell me. One humiliating instance.
Okay, so I've been rejected many times when it comes to the dating world. But also, as a performer, you have to get used to rejection. So I think me and Mary, we both kind of let rejection just brush off our shoulders. It doesn't really bother us that much, because if someone rejects me, that's fine, because that means that leaves room for someone else to accept me. You know, I think rejection equals acceptance elsewhere. You know, if I didn't believe that, I'd probably go crazy.
Rejection is dressing for dates who don't show, waiting for people who don't call, giving a party for someone who's left the country.
Oh, come on, Sue-Ann, what's the point?
Rejection is cooking dinner for a man's entire family. 11 people, Mary. 11 Hungarian people.
One thing I noticed is, so she relays that story about that dinner, and I think part of her problem is that maybe she's giving her energy to people who don't really deserve her energy. We should all be strong enough to accept rejection, because it's bound to happen. If someone rejects you, then thank them. It means they're making space in your life for something else. That's how I've always seen it. Everyone deals with rejection. You're not alone. Maybe that'll help. Everyone deals with rejection. You're not alone.
You know what I hate worst about crying?
What?
Your dimples don't show.
Yeah, they do.
Oh, good.
She also has been harboring a crush on Mary's boss, Mr. Grant, Lou Grant, played by Ed Asner.
Sue-Ann,
Yes, Lou.
could you do me a favor?
Well, maybe on my lunch hour.
And in one episode, Mary finds out that those two actually hooked up. They had a moment of bliss. They had sex. They had a one-night stand.
When did she have time to put a note in my pants? trying to read my note.
I just noticed that whoever wrote the note dots her eyes with little hearts, just like Sue Ann.
No, you know.
And Mr. Grant tells Mary this in confidence. He doesn't want her to tell anybody, and she does.
Guess who Sue Ann Nivens spent the night with?
Come on, Mary. I have to be home in an hour.
To Mary's credit, she tells somebody that she could trust. And this person didn't tell anybody. But Lou felt like he was betrayed. He pretty much tells Mary that he doesn't want to be her friend anymore.
There's a lot I could say. There's a lot I could tell you about what I think you did to me. I asked you not to do it. You violated my confidence. It was important to me. I'm your boss. It doesn't interfere with that. We're just not friends anymore.
I think trust is a gift. And Lou gave Mary this gift of trust, and she broke it. I guess for me, I trust until you break it, and then I kind of keep you at arm's length until you gain that trust again. Sometimes people do, sometimes they don't. But when my trust is broken, it does hurt, so I do relate with Lou in this instance. Eventually, I'm pretty sure he does end up trusting her again, because towards the end of the series, Lou and Mary go out on a date.
I think you're a terrific man, Lou Grant, and I want to go out on a date with you.
Yeah. And I think it's one of my favorite episodes. This episode opens and Mary has come home from a date with another gentleman. He gets the wrong impression of why he invited her into her home, and he starts getting comfortable, if you know what I mean. You know what I mean.
Put on your shirt!
I just thought it was just...
Jeez, I hardly know you.
I didn't mean any harm. Look, we seem to be hitting it off, and I just thought...
You just thought. You just thought.
And then he accuses her of being naive, and she has to set him straight.
I have been dating since I was 17. I'm 37. That's 2 decades of dating. Don't tell me I haven't dated much. I go out on an average of 2 times a week. That's 100 times 20 years. That's 2,000.
And then later on in the episode, she's talking with Georgette. I love Georgette. She's talking with Georgette about her problems with dating, and Georgette kind of plants the seed up. Oh, why don't you ask out Lou? And she has this cute, adorable moment.
I mean, I didn't think I was asking for that much, but I haven't met anyone who even comes close. Someone who doesn't care how I look because he's more concerned with who I am. Somebody strong and intelligent, who respects me, who I can respect, who has gentleness in him. I guess there just aren't any men like that.
Sure there are. You know one.
Well, if I do, I sure wish you'd point him out.
Lou Grant.
Come on.
He has every quality you said you wanted, and I'll throw in one of my own. He's cute as a button.
They have a date, and they have a kiss. And this is the second to the last episode. So you would think that this would be their happy ending, that, oh, they found love, but The reality is, yes, you know what? They do appear perfect for each other. I mean, I thought they were gonna end up with each other, but they don't work as a couple. People may see them and think they work as a couple, but if something is missing, something is missing. And something is definitely missing. You see that kiss?
Good night, Mary.
Good night, Lou.
So they have a laugh, and then the series ends.
You know what I'm thinking, Murray? I know this is gonna sound silly if I say it.
Try it.
I'm not sure I was fired. No, Mr. Grant, really think about it. Mr. Coleman did say very clearly, Ted is staying, and I'm afraid I'm going to have to let the rest of you guys go. See, now, I'm not a guy. Well, I'm not.
But the series ends with the TV station firing our whole main cast, and Mary being on her own again.
Hello, Mr. Coleman. This is Mary Richards in the newsroom. I was just up in your office with the guys. And I was just wondering, Mr. Coleman, when you were dismissing some of the staff, did you intend to fire me too? Especially me.
Probably going to move to a new city and reassuring her friends that she's going to be okay on her own. And I really like that. Again, you know, it's she approaches the future with a smile on her face, and I guess that's one of the main things I love about the show, that they really emphasize that even in like the darkest times, love is all around. This show is very beautiful, very well made. The characters were created very realistically. The writing was top notch. I enjoyed watching. How many seasons were on the show? Let me see. Hold up. Let's do the yeah. I had fun watching all 7 seasons, and I will definitely watch all 7 seasons again. I want you all to remember that love is all around you, okay? Even in the darkest times, there's always love. People care about you, okay? I care about you. Thanks for joining me for a fun episode. What do you think of the Mary Tyler Moore Show? You know, leave your comments below. Thank you for watching, and I hope I see you next time. Bye.